Welcome everybody back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. This is the Buckle Up. I was going to say review, but it's a difficult one to do a review considering we co-produced the show. So I think it's a good say overview, results show, what happens next maybe. I don't know. We'll call it something or other, but Buckle Up happened yesterday. It was the biggest show that Ignite have ever done, the biggest attendance Ignite have ever done. There was not a single seat in the building free for our co-produced show, Buckle Up, yesterday. It was a fantastic event. Look, I can sit here and say it was the best Ignite show ever. I would be biased, but that is also the feedback that we got from the regular fans, from the new fans, the fans from Progress and Rev Pro. The feedback was that we're coming back, and that's really from a independent wrestling perspective. That's exactly what the guys at Ignite want to hear. A big thank you to everyone that attended, the wrestlers that attended the show as well and made the show amazing. Matches from top to bottom, best show ever. Big thanks to every single one of them that turned up, and obviously a huge thanks to Ignite for allowing us to co-produce a show again. It was an incredible event, and we're going to get into it. We're going to talk all things what happened. As I say, I'm not going to review the matches just because it wouldn't really be an honest review. To review a co-produced show wouldn't really work that way. So we are just going to talk about the matches itself and talk about the results and maybe what happens next. But what does happen next is Aftermath, September the 15th. Tickets are already on sale and flying out of the door. So if you want to attend the next big show from Ignite, please go to 96 Eventbrite, type in Ignite Wrestle Pro. You will see the Aftermath tickets available to purchase. So make sure you purchase them for sure. Let's get on with the opener, which is now right behind me. The opening show, the opening match of the card, for Ignite was the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. Jack Toreno, Will Kroos, Jay Joshua, Charles Crowley, Kid Lykos2, Taylor James. They put on a absolutely fantastic opener. The crowd were going crazy for this. We had Lykos trying to brain bust everybody in the vicinity. Will Kroos was just showing once again how he's so talented in that ring, and his size is very deceiving for his quickness. We said that before when he took on Mike for the Turnbuckle Championship, but he is super quick for his size. He can move around that with the hard-hitting prowess of Jay Joshua. With Jack Toreno, the man that has got a beef with Taylor James, those two started the show and they started out fighting for sure. And of course, the unpredictability, and I'm going to call him it today, of the spectacular twat that is Charles Crowley. Sensational match to start this. Loved every second of it. The crowd are on their feet through it. However, the winner of this match gets to Call Your Shot briefcase, a bit like the Money in the Bank briefcase. However, it does give them an opportunity for the Hitting the Turnbuckle or the Ignite Heavyweight Championship shot whenever they choose. And Taylor James was the successful winner of this match, and he can now have the briefcase with maybe a little help from his friend, a big friend. Maybe you could call him Big Friend. Tall Tom, I believe his name is. But yeah, Taylor gets the shot. Now, the interesting thing with Taylor is for the year and a half that I've been privileged to go and watch Ignite, Taylor has always been that one that's been on the periphery of greatness. He was obviously in the tag team, the Rebellion, but he's always wanted to break out on his own. He had a career-defining match with Michael Oku at the last Buckle Up. He was unsuccessful in that particular match. However, he's always been on that periphery of getting a shot but not quite making it. Taylor has now earned the opportunity whenever he pleases to take on whichever champion he chooses at any time, at any place. And many people will say this is justified for Taylor because he has been a constant at Ignite. He's always the one that's been He's been there. He's generally the match of the night. And although he's been very vocal about it, he backs up his vocalness with performances. In some cases in defeat. Breaking away from Jack was what he wanted to do. That he believed that breaking away from Jack was what was holding him back from being catapulted to the championship. Now, Jack did beat him at the last show full throttle, but one can argue that Taylor is spot on with that comment because he's broken away from Jack. He's got a new bit of, I know you call him muscle, or whatever you want to call him. He's got a bodyguard as such at ringside. And the first thing he does in the subsequent match is get a title shot at any title at any time. So Taylor James we could be crowning a new heavyweight champion or a new champion in Taylor James anytime soon. But Jack can't be disappointed. He had a fantastic outing in this match. The crowd were fully behind him. It was kind of interesting how, Jack normally is the one. I think he got more boost than Taylor in some cases when they were the Rebellion at Ignite. But Jack was so over with the crowd. They loved him there. They loved Crowley, of course. It was so great to see Kid Lykos2, especially trying to brain buster everyone. That was a funny bit. Will Kroos, it did take all of the other five competitors in there to pin him. They all jumped on him to get the cover. Jay Joshua proving what a hard hitting, one of the most hard hitting wrestlers in the UK scene that he is in this match as well. And any match that's got Charles Crowley in it is worthy of admission alone. He was fantastic. It's always great to see the spectacular one at Ignite. But Taylor James, many people say he was destined for greatness and destined for championships. He has now got that big opportunity to take on the champion at any time. And does he do it in the main event? I'm not going to tell you yet. We're going to get to that a little bit later on. But congratulations to Taylor James and congratulations to every single person in this match. But it's seemingly not Tiffy time, as the WWE would say. It's Taylor time in Ignite, and we'll find out what happens with Taylor and with that championship shot for sure. The next one on the card is these two. Nino Bryant, Connor Mills. Connor Mills is just, the silent, I call him the silent assassin because he's a man of very few words. He's all action and, he doesn't have to talk because he can just back it up with action. These two put on actually quite a hard hitting technical wrestling match. There was a lot of technical ability in this shown by both individuals. Nino always felt like every time Nino was getting the advantage, Connor would just take him back down a peg in this. Nino has been a stalwart of Ignite. I think he's only missed one or two shows since the inception of Ignite a few years ago. And again, he's another one that's been on the periphery. Last year at Buckle Up, a massive victory over Scotty Rourke. Could have said career defining at Ignite as well in that one. And this one was a real test for Nino. He did pass it with flying colors. He didn't end up getting the victory. He did tap out to Connor Mills in the end. But a fantastic showing from Nino. And funnily enough, we was talking about Taylor James and championships. I did manage to, get a word with Connor, as such, if you call it a word. I did say to him, you're on the September show, Aftermath, but what's in the future for Connor Mills at Ignite? And he just done the belt pose, hinting that he is coming after a title at Ignite. So maybe in September. We did say to CJ Carter on the preview show that perhaps the winner of this particular match would be next in line for a championship opportunity at Ignite. And if we were to say that's true, then Connor Mills could well be in line for a championship opportunity at Aftermath on September the 15th. And again, tickets are already on sale, so go and grab them. However, that wasn't the end of this. Truman Roswell, the man that we didn't book at all for Ignite, the big conspiracy theorist connoisseur that he is, did say that he would be coming to Ignite if he wasn't booked to raise hell. He did. He beat up Nino even more after the match. He attacked his younger brother, Leland, I think, at ringside as well. We had to get a medic in, unfortunately, for Leland. I do hope he's okay. Truman, at this point, has now said that everything going forward, if he's not booked, it will get progressively worse, which has given CJ Carter a bit of a conundrum, shall we say, to see what he does for September. Does he book him? I personally would tell Truman, to quote The Rock, and we don't normally, well, we do swear a bit on this channel, but to quote one of The Rock's lines, I would say to Truman, off is the direction that you can fuck, and never book Truman and let him try to come again on Ignite. But CJ is a man of opportunity and he's a man of chances. So I don't know if CJ is going to give Truman the opportunity. But nevertheless, he certainly made his presence felt at Ignite. Buckle up. He certainly did try and take over the show. He did, he didn't necessarily try and take it hostage as such as what he said he was going to do. But nevertheless, he certainly made his impact felt. And we'll see what CJ Carter wants to do with Mr. Roswell come aftermath. We'll wait and see. As he said, he knows my feelings on it very, very well. Now, match number 3, the Hitting the Turnbuckle Championship match, smashing Mark Trew absolutely tore the house down. I've said in a few matches, the last couple of matches, I was worried that Mike was getting very close to losing the championship. Eddie Dennis had him within a whisker away. James Ellis did end up winning the title, albeit very, it was incontroversial. The match got restarted, but he did end up beating Mike. Mike did end up beating James Ellis, but James Ellis did have the turnbuckle title for a brief moment. My concern with this one was that Mike, because of the animosity between him and Mark, was that Mike was going to make a mistake that cost him the match. And that's exactly what happened in this. I thought this was Mark's real big it was a championship performance for Mark Trew. There is no doubt about it, no matter what, the fact he's been a thorn in my ass for the last year or so, wanting this title handed to him. He finally earned it, and he earned it in a big way. But the mistake Mike did make was there was one point in the match, that Mike had the match won, and he chose to pull Mark Trew's head up off the mat and get his shoulders up for him when Mark was out of it. And that is the biggest mistake that Mike's made. And ultimately, it was the mistake that cost him the Turnbuckle Championship, because a little while after that, a big 450 from that man, Mark Trew himself, got the win. Those of you that want to see that match, head on to our Instagram at Hitting the Turnbuckle. The whole match is on there. Be it's off of my phone, guys. So it's me sitting down recording. So it may not be the best quality. Ignite will upload this match to YouTube before aftermath. If you want to see my view of the contest, it's on Instagram for you all to see. Likewise, if you want a better version of that match, then wait until Ignite post it on their YouTube show. But Mark is the champion, and deservedly so. There was no shenanigans, no bullshit. Mark Trew wins that championship fair and square. And now he is the Turnbuckle champion. So congratulations, Mark Trew. He didn't rub it in as much as I thought he was going to do, which is actually, interesting. Maybe because Mark also knows that I have a say in who gets booked to face him. So he may be playing it down a little bit. But however, what I can say is his replacement, his first title defense is confirmed between us and Ignite. It is not confirmed out with you guys yet. It will be in the foreseeable future. But suffice to say, his first title defense could well be his last. With the person that we've got to face him at Aftermath is certainly someone that's causing a big stir on the independent scene right now, especially in Revolution Pro Wrestling. Let's just say he's blowing a gal. Maybe that will give you a hint as to it is. But Mike has been a fantastic champion ever since the Hitting the Turnbuckle title was the match was made in September of last year. He has hopefully gained a lot of experience. Yeah, that's what we want to do with a title. We want the championship to mean something to the person that's holding it, but also to give them matches that is going to help them elevate their game. He beat Will Kroos. He beat Eddie Dennis in what a match that I know that for a fact Mike said he learned so much out of that particular contest with Eddie. And obviously against James Ellis, he learned perhaps he learned not to take your eye off the ball, but in the match against Mark he did, unfortunately, and that's what cost him. But he has been a superb champion. He has been someone that we've been proud to put the title on, and we thank Mike for everything that he's done for the Hitting the Turnbuckle Championship. But it is now in the hands of the undeniable Mark Trew. So we will see what happens come Aftermath. I am actually looking forward to that match. I think, the match that we've got for Mark coming up, these two that we're going to have for Mark and his opponent are going to put on an absolute show steer. Could even be match of the year at Aftermath between those two. I mean, I'll have some doing because, to be honest, every single match on this card could have got match of the year. But nevertheless, Mark and his first defense is going to be something a little bit special for the guys at Shenley Road and everyone at Ignite. And we look forward to it. And congratulations again to the new Hitting the Turnbuckle champion, Mr. Mark Trew. We had a very brief interval at that point. People got to run and get some drinks because obviously we thought it was coming home last night. It didn't come home again, but we wanted to make sure that everyone got home early enough to watch the game. So with that in mind, we done a quick turnaround before we brought you this one off the break. It was Safire and her tag team partner Nightshade against Aluna and Artemis. This one had a story going to it. Obviously, Safire was meant to take on Artemis. Artemis was attacked on her way to the arena, so Safire had a secondary opponent. The second one, Safire was injured, so we had to get one for a replacement for which Artemis then beat Chantel Jordan. Safire was there, though she half injured. She did still attack Artemis. Aluna made the save, and there was a tag match then requested. Artemis and Aluna versus Safire and a partner of her choosing. Now, when we first learned who the tag partner was, all was well in the camp of Safire and Nightshade, but about a week, that weekend, all fell apart between Safire and Nightshade elsewhere. And seemingly they brought that dissension into this particular match. Safire did not want to get tagged in. She wanted Nightshade to do the dirty work. And when the dirty work was done, Safire was coming in. So that caused a lot of dissension. There was a lot of blind tags between those two. And ultimately, there was a mistake, a miscommunication, where Nightshade went for a splash. I think it was Aluna that moved out of the way, and she hit Safire with the splash. And ultimately, there's two's dissension got the better of them as Aluna and Artemis picked up the victory. A very impressive victory for these two against Safire and Nightshade. I don't think those two will be teaming again, especially at Ignite anyway, but who knows? It was great to see Nightshade's debut at Ignite. She was very, very good. I mean, Safire and Aluna and Artemis, we know all too well how good they are. But when you see Nightshade, she was tremendous in that ring. She really gave it everything, and she was having to, because Safire was only tagging in when she thought everything was done and dusted. So it was great to see Nightshade. A great win for Aluna and Artemis. What I don't think, I think Safire is going to want a bit of revenge, though. I think. I don't think it's the last we've seen of Safire Reed at Ignite yet. Anyway, we'll see what happens come Aftermath, but I still think Safire is going to want some blood from somewhere. So we'll see what happens going forward with that. But the girls, Aluna and Artemis, very, very impressive as normal. And their fans love them too. 96 Shenny Road absolutely loves Artemis and Aluna, and we'll see what happens next for them at Aftermath. Now, the semi-main event, Jesus Christ. I mean, this was everything that I wanted out of this match and so much more. Corey Mcrae against the debut in Northwest Strong, Luke Jacobs. Corey, if he loses, was going to take some time away from Ignite. Retirement was teased. I don't know if he's going to retire from Ignite, but he was certainly going to take some time to reassess his future at Ignite. Should he lose this match? My God, this match was so hard. Luke Jacobs proving why he's one of the best in the UK, if not arguably the best in the UK. He's certainly the hardest hitting guy in the UK. He gave Corey everything. Corey gave Luke absolutely everything as well. As you could imagine, Corey had a lot on the line. He was a 13, 14-month reign as Ignite heavyweight champion. He lost that. He's been on a downward spiral since. He needed to beat Luke Jacobs. He gave Luke absolutely everything. But unfortunately, it wasn't good enough, and Luke was just that too powerful on the day. He hit some sick power bombs. He nearly decapitated Corey at the end of the match with a clothesline that ultimately put Corey away. Luke Jacobs was, I mean, he was just more than impressive in for this. He was absolutely incredible in this match. It was so good to see Luke. I've had some time in backstage as well. And generally he's very deceiving because when he's in that ring and that bell goes, he is strictly business. Absolutely strictly business. But backstage he was a nice guy. I had a good chat with him. Got a shirt, got a picture, which you've probably seen on social. So it was always good to have Luke. He's always welcome back at 96 Shenley Road. Anytime he wants to join us at Ignite, he is absolutely more than welcome. But Corey, he's had a fantastic title reign at Ignite. He's been on that losing streak, and now he's going to take some time. We know that he's definitely not going to be at September. He's taken some time to reassess his future in wrestling. But if you want my opinion, Corey, you've got a lot in the left in the tank, so I wouldn't be too disheartened about it. You did say that you didn't want an easy ride. We could have given you a throwaway match, but you wanted one of the best in the country, and we gave you that. And I think that you proved in this match. If there was any doubt in your mind, Corey, whether you still had it, whether you could still go with the best in defeat against Luke Jacobs, you absolutely proved that you can go with the best. So I do hope that you recover a bit at home, take some time to think, and I do hope that you are back at Ignite and 96 Shenley Road in the very future. That's for sure. And we wish you all the best in whatever you want to do. And congratulations for putting on this such great match. And we do hope, like I said, that it's not the end of Corey Mcrae and Ignite. Main event time. This was the Gene Munny versus Tommy Kyle versus the champion Adonis Payne for the Ignite Championship. So story in this, Adonis Payne cashed in his breakout on the night that Gene Munny beat Corey Mcrae. Well, the championships, Gene Munny had the Ignite Championship for about 5 seconds. Adonis cashed it in. He beat Jay Joshua questionably. He beat Tommy Kyle questionably. And that led to CJ Carter deciding, well, Gene deserves a title shot. Jay wanted to go into the 6-person call your shot gauntlet match to get a shot. Tommy Kyle deserves a rematch because he was screwed out of the last shot that he had. Really, it was a low blow belt shot. And actually, that's how the match started. Adonis had a Spain shirt, which didn't go down well with the crowd anyway. But he did also then do a belt shot straight away on the match. But the match itself was a brilliant match between these three. There was a little bit of comedy in there. You've got to have a bit of comedy when Gene Munny's around. And it's always nice to see Gene Ignite. And match was great, though. There had so much going on in this match. Ultimately, though, we did indeed crown a new Ignite heavyweight champion. The absolute maverick Tommy Kyle pinned Adonis Payne and became Ignite world champion. Now, Tommy Kyle, again, is someone that's been there from the start. He had a severe injury, as you know. He come back late last year, built his way back up, got the opportunity to go for Adonis, was screwed out of that opportunity by Adonis, and has now rightfully taken his name as world heavyweight champion. We've already mentioned Conor Mills is signaling that he wants a shot. Does he get it? Does Adonis get a straight rematch? What's going to happen there? I mean, there's things that CJ Carter has to deal with in the coming weeks to decide what's next for the World Heavyweight Championship, because Adonis will be saying, and rightfully so, he got a rematch. I deserve a rematch. So will Adonis get his rematch Will Connor Mills get something? You know, we have said the Turnbuckle Championship match is already signed, so Connor will not. That's what I will say. Connor Mills will not be challenging Mark Trew for the Turnbuckle Championship at Aftermath. It is somebody else, and it'll be a day. What I will say is that this person will be making their debut at Ignite Wrestling in September. So Mark Trew's first opponent will be a debut for Ignite Wrestling. I can't wait to share that with you. But what happens to the World Championship? CJ Carter's got a lot on his plate to decide what happens for Aftermath. We're looking very much forward to being there. Guys, you can be there as well. 96 Eventbrite, sorry, 96 Shenley Road, type Ignite in the if you've got the Eventbrite app, put Ignite in there. It will come up as there to buy your tickets. Ticket link, of course, will be posted on our platforms as well. There it already is. We'll send out another post with a ticket link as well, so don't forget to do that. But there was one question that I did get asked by wrestlers as well as fans, and that question is good. It's a good way to say, is it a good way to wrap up the show? I don't know. The question that I got asked was, is Hitting the Turnbuckle going to be doing this with Ignite again next year? This is the second year we've done it. The second year we've sold out. The first year Shenley Road didn't allow us the extra seats. This year they allowed us an extra 10-12 seats, but it was literally full to the rafters. So are we doing this again next year? I'm not one to be coy with an answer. I do try and answer every question, but unfortunately I am going to be coy on this and actually say I don't know if we'll be doing it again next year. Look, it's a two-way thing. For one, I've got to want to do it. CJ Carter at Ignite has got to want to do it as well. So we'll take some time. We'll have a think, because I mean, in the way that I look at it, how do we make next year's bigger than this year's? It's a difficult thing to try and keep upping the level of these types of shows. So it'll be a decision that will be made before November. I know it seems a long way away, but there is one Ignite show left before November, and then obviously Ignite have to make the plans for next year. So we will know by November, and I think by the end of the year, you guys will know if it's happening again. Whatever happens, let's just say this: even if we don't do another buckle up. And the reason I say this is, and the reason why I say it's going to take some time as well, is I'm not one to make an impulse decision, because if I were to make an impulse decision, we would have already been planning it after yesterday's show. So the impulse thing, it doesn't work with me. When I make a decision, I make the decision. It's not something that I want to change my mind on as well. So number one, Ignite, I've got to do it. Number two, we've got to think about it. And three is, how do we make it bigger than this year? But regardless of all that, even if it wasn't to happen next year, we will still be at Ignite, because the Turnbuckle Championship is there. So we will always be there at Ignite. It is our home. It's our wrestling home. We love it there. We love being a part of the family. Everyone at Ignite just makes us feel so welcome. We're, the wrestlers as well, they're always happy to see us there. We're happy to see them. We love working with CJ Carter and Dan and everyone that works behind the Ignite. And whatever happens, we'll be there. But I just cannot commit to say yes or no at this time as to whether there'll be a Buckle Up 3. But you guys will know once we've had a chance to talk about it. And we'll hope to have, we will have that confirmed, guys, by the end of the year. Maybe even on the end of year review show that we'll do with CJ Carter after the November show, you will know if it's happening or not. But guys, seriously, wrestling fans out there, get yourselves down to 96 Shenley Road to watch some Ignite Wrestling. You will not be disappointed. They've gone under the radar for far too long at Ignite. They quietly go about their business. But I think the fans that have come for the first time, your Progress, your Rev Pro fans, the guys that have been there for the first time on Sunday, will see exactly why Ignite Wrestling right now is the place to be for your wrestling shows. Of course, attend Progress, attend Rev Pro, do all that, but make sure you find room in your diary to come to Ignite shows when they're on. September the 15th is the next one. It is on Eventbrite. Type Ignite Wrestling Pro. You will see the link for the tickets. They're already selling. Front row is, I think, half gone, near enough, there or thereabouts. So it's already selling. Make sure you get your tickets, see them, see us, see some fantastic wrestling. And guys, make sure you follow us at HTT Buckle on Twitter, hitting the Turnbuckle podcast on all social media outlets. Keep it locked on this channel. The interview with Steve Macklin ahead of Slammiversary drops tomorrow, so make sure you watch that. Obviously, review shows will be back this week as well. But until we're back with Steve Macklin, everybody, this has been the Ignite Buckle Up overview. I don't know, results show. There you go. And until next time, everybody, please take care of yourselves. All the best and goodbye.